Hi, I'm Drea. I am the owner and founder of Line One Hair, and today we're at my salon, Bomane Salon in Beverly Hills, and we are going to be doing an extension transformation on the beautiful Fiona. As you can see, her hair is already really beautiful. She has really nice texture. The color is gorgeous. She's just wanting a little bit more of a fuller, longer look for the holidays, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. To create Fiona's desired look, we're going to be using individual keratin extensions. We're probably gonna be using around 6 bundles. And when you look at Fiona's hair, you can notice that she has a finer texture. So we will be cutting each of these bonds in half to make sure that we cause no damage. Her goal is really to grow her hair out. So we're gonna make sure that we're assisting with that with the application and really have her end goal in mind. Okay, so we're gonna decide on what length is right for Fiona before we start, because that's going to dictate how many rows of extensions we put in and ultimately how much hair we need to use. It's really important when you're doing an extension application not to put too much hair in, because it's going to be really difficult when they're trying to style it at home if it's not necessary, and it's also going to be a lot more difficult to cut. So we really want to aim to put the exact amount of hair in, and that's why the consultation is so key. So why don't you show me, honey, on your body, like kind of how you're envisioning the extensions falling?
I feel like it'd be great if they fell right here, right under boob.
It's gonna look so good. I'm so excited.
Me too.
Okay, so it's helpful when you are deciding on a length. I know in my head that I'm going to use 18-inch. This is what an 18-inch bundle looks like of the extensions. And if the client wasn't sure, or if you weren't sure, you can really go in there and just hold up the bundle to kind of mimic where it's going to fall. And this is perfect. If it was any shorter, we'd really want to go with a 22-inch length to be sure, but this is a good medium length in the head to hold it, to be sure that it's the exact correct length you want. And this is looking perfect for what Fiona wants. If she was wanting, less layers, it probably wouldn't be the appropriate length, but this is perfect because I know I'm gonna layer this in and it's gonna fall exactly how I want it. It's gonna look perfect. You're so excited.
No, I'm so excited.
All right, let's get started. Okay guys, so now we're gonna get started. We're gonna go ahead and section her off, and we'll meet you back and show you exactly all of the tips and tricks to getting the perfect application. Now we've finished sectioning for Fiona's application. I'm going to go ahead and spin her around so you can see exactly what we did. Because we are adding length, we are gonna start pretty low in the back and on the sides. If we were just adding fullness, you would start more mid-range and then work your way up. But this is really the perfect sectioning that you'll need for every application when you are adding length and fullness. Okay, so before you start any pro application, it's super important to make sure that your setup is clean, organized, ready to go, so that when your client gets there, you can be really efficient. You don't need to get up and get things. Everything's just ready. This tray to me looks beautiful, super perfect. We're gonna start on the right. Right here we have what we call a rag in a box, one of the best investments from Amazon. We use it to clean the application tool in between rows to make sure that there's no residue left on the application tool. Very important. Here we have all of our bundles of hair. This is color 22 and 25 from Line One Hair. We've done a custom gloss on it for Fiona because she has a very unique hair color, really golden and rich, but we still wanted the dimension. So we have glossed this with Redken shades, part clear, part 8WG and 8N. So what that did is just richen it up while not making it brassy, just really rich, exactly like her natural hair is. Next we have our comb, which you'll need throughout the application. Our clips from Line One that have a little no slip, no crease grip on them, really helpful. So that when you take out the sections, you're not having to, really flat iron between each section. It should really easily fall down to save you time. The fiskers, which you will need to cut the bonds. When I mentioned earlier, we're going to take each bond for Fiona and cut it in half because her hair is so fine. When you're taking a section for the application, we will be taking the size of this little square. So what dictates what size bond goes on each client is how much of the natural hair comes through this little area. I already know from experience that Fiona will really need a fine bond and not a full bond. This is going to make sure that you have a seamless application. It's also going to ensure that there is no damage to the natural hair, which is so important. Okay guys, so you're gonna see me applying Fiona's application with another stylist. This is Isabel, and we have an assistant in the back, also Ilsa. If you were not applying with 2 people at once, you would basically start in the back, the same sectioning that I showed you, and you would work horizontally up and you would finish the entire back. Then you would move to the left front and then the right front. But right now, since I have another stylist applying with me, we are going to start in the back right quadrant with Isabel and the front left quadrant with myself. And then we're going to switch so that I'm applying all of the front and she's applying all of the back. I highly recommend this when you are doing clients in the salon if you do apply with 2 stylists at once to make sure that it's cohesive. So right here you can see the shield put in Fiona's hair. You can see the amount of hair that comes out, and that will call for a fine bond. So I can tell for this entire section we're going to be using fine bonds. I'm going to start at the front and I'm going to work myself back to the end of this section before I move up to the next row. So before I put the fine bond in, I'm going to take my applicator tool and I'm going to gently melt the bond so that I have more space to work with. I'm then going to take the hair that came out of the square section of my shield, place it under the natural hair and pull it down to the white top part of the shield. I'm going to gently melt the bond again, and then I'm going to roll it into her hair. I'm going to heat it up one more time and do the same. And that leaves us with her first fine bond. So this white part of the shield is really a cheat sheet to make sure that you're not getting the bond too close to the client's natural scalp. That can cause breakage. It can rip the hair out of the head if you put them in too tight. So when I take this out, you can see that the bond has a lot of natural movement. So when she goes to put her hair up, it's not going to be pulling at all. She's not going to get any damage from these extensions, and they're going to be a lot more comfortable for her right off the bat. There is a misconception that the tighter you put them in, the longer they last. It's just not true. What we're talking about is about this much space that you're leaving, and all that's going to do is allow for a comfortable wear for the client. But they are actually going to last longer because most of the hair that you put in there is still going to be in there holding on to the bond because it's not ripping out of the head. Okay guys, so we just finished the first row. This is what it looks like. In between each row, I like to take my straight and flat iron just so it looks really nice when I'm doing content after. And then we'll show you the back, which Isabel's been working on. She's already taken down her next section, and you can see how seamlessly it's already blending. For the next section, we're gonna go about a ½ inch up from where we started and continue on with the application. It's important to check your color match throughout. As you can see, the color match is looking super perfect, so I'm gonna continue with the exact same pattern on the next row, and Isabel is gonna continue in the back the same way. Okay guys, so we just finished the second row. We did the exact same thing that we did in the first row. We started from the front left, we worked our way back. I'm gonna show you how much hair is left in between the first and the second row. It's really not that much because we are using the fine bonds, and we wanna make sure that we get enough rows in there to match the density with the fine bonds. So we're gonna go ahead, do the exact same thing above here. We're gonna go row 3, row 4, and row 5, and then we'll meet you back here. In the back, Isabel did the exact same thing that I did. She's still working with fine bonds. She's also on row 2. Isabel and I will be mirroring each other. We'll be going row by row together. She's also gonna go up to row 5, and then we will meet you guys back for the final row of the application. Okay, so we've just finished the 5th row of the application. This is what it looks like on the side of her head. We're gonna spin her around and show you what Isabel's been working on in the back. Isabel's gonna go ahead and do 3 more rows in the back. I'm only going to be doing 1 more row on the top to finish off this application. Okay, so we've just finished up the front left quadrant. As you can see, when we get to the top, I leave even a little bit more space out in between the bonds. What that does is ensure that it's totally seamless. So for some reason the wind blows or she's trying to put it up, it gives you that little extra amount of security that you're not going to be able to see them because it leaves a little bit of hair in between, and it just really helps mask it. They are already really seamless, but it just gives you that like extra little bit of, you know, of a special application to set yourself apart from other artists. Okay, so this is the front left section all pulled down before we even did a cut. You can really see with a pro application, it already blends before you even start cutting, and that's really what the goal is when you do the extension application. So I just took a closer look, and I think I'm gonna put just 1 more row in there to give her a bit more fullness in the front around her face because she does wear it down a lot. But because I wanna make it a little bit more fuller, a little bit more dramatic of an extension transformation, I am gonna go a little bit higher on her. Okay, so now we added that extra top row into the front, and I'm super happy with the blend now. That's gonna give her a little bit more length in the front and a little bit more fullness. And so what you're looking for is that seamless blend before you cut. If there's any kind of line, it means that you need to go higher and add more hair. So that's a really important indication to make sure that you're on the right track with the size of the bond that you're putting in, with the amount of rows that you're putting in, and how high you put them up on the head to make sure that the natural hair is blending perfectly. Okay, so now we've finished the entire individual keratin extension install. This is what it looks like before we even began to cut it. I'm super happy with the blend already. It's the perfect amount of hair. It matches her texture and her thickness of her natural hair so nicely. It's not too much, it's not too little. This is gonna make the cut super simple for us. Okay, so we're gonna start in the back with the middle section. I'm just going to gently pull it out. I'm going to see where her hair starts. It's really hard because we did such a great blend, and it starts right about there. So we really want to naturally blend in and just slide cut down to make sure that we're giving her really nice movement. And that's really all we need to do. She doesn't need a ton more than that. We're gonna start with that. I'm gonna go to the left back section, the right back section, and then we're going to do the front sections after that. So go ahead and shake your head for me. So you can see when I asked her to shake her head, there's no line of demarcation. So that's a really nice way to test if you're getting a really good blend with the haircut. Now we're gonna move to her front left section. I like to kind of step back and look at it and see what is going on with the haircut. I see a little bit of a break right here, which is natural because everyone naturally has a recession line. So even if they weren't extensions, she would still have some kind of a break right there, but we just want to blend it in a little bit and give her a nice, subtle layer in the front. I'm not going for a super layered look, just like very natural as if it was her own hair. So I like to just pick up the hair like this. I leave it at its natural fall, and I just go in and slide cut from where the extensions start and where her hair ended. And that's perfect right there. So that's her hair and that's the extensions. So now I'm just gonna pick up this piece because I can see that that needs a little bit of layering, and just really gently go in there and make sure that it's blending perfectly with her hair. You can always cut more when you're doing the haircut. So it's always safer to start with less, take a step back, look at it in the mirror, and really make sure that you're achieving the look that you and your client discussed in the beginning. This is another nice way to check it. You can kind of pull it up, see how everything's falling. So now you can see how that natural break is totally connected in, and it's a seamless application, a seamless haircut. It looks just like her natural hair, and we haven't even styled it yet. A good tip is if the hair looks perfect dead straight, you're on the right path. You should always feel like the extensions can be worn straight, blown out. You definitely should not have to curl them to make them blend. So we're gonna repeat exactly what we did on the left side on the front right side. So the cut looks absolutely perfect. I'm so happy with the application. It is just like her normal hair, but better, a little bit fuller, a little bit longer. How do you feel?
It feels so good. It looks amazing.
Fiona's really wanting to leave with that classic 90s blowout set look. So we're gonna go ahead and wash her now. Okay, so we just finished the 90s blowout set look on Fiona. In the back, we went ahead and used those creaseless clips to hold them. In the front bang section, we used one of the Dom Dom Velcro rollers just to give that really nice full look in the front. And so we're going to go ahead and take out all of the clips and show Fiona her final look. Okay, so here we have Fiona's final look. I literally could not be happier with it. It turned out perfect. The thickness is perfect. It matches her hair exactly. The color looks gorgeous, and I know that she feels amazing.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. What do we think? It's amazing.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, my name is Drea. I'm the founder of Line 1 Hair Extensions, and we're at my salon today, Bomane Salon in Beverly Hills. I have such a passion for doing extensions and sharing my method with others. I think it's so important to make sure that you're getting the education you need to really create a natural look that is right for your clients' at-home life, for the look that they're wanting to achieve, and making sure that you're really caring for the client's natural hair while the extensions are in. It's so important to really go step by step and become a pro when you're offering extensions to your clients, and not just, you know, take a class and not further your education. I really wish when I had started out doing hair, I had online education like there is available now. So I hope you guys all benefit and enjoy. If you have any questions, you're welcome to DM me on Instagram. My Instagram's Andrea Henty. Follow our extension company at Line 1 Hair, and our salon is Bomane Salon in Beverly Hills.